The last time Infiniti tried this formula properly, it built something weird, genuinely good, and so underappreciated that half the industry pretended it never happened.
The QX65 is trying to tap into that memory from a much more modern, much more compromised part of the market. Whether it gets there is a question for the first drive,
but there's a lot to unpack before I get behind the wheel.
The roofline's doing most of the work here, and to Infiniti's credit, it knows the assignment. From the B-pillar back, this is the most deliberate visual callback to the FX they've attempted in years. It looks like movement when it's parked, which is still one of the hardest tricks in crossover design. Most of them just look tall. The wheels are pushed to the corners, the track's wide, and from a low angle, the proportions are properly aggressive. Infiniti hasn't made something this visually assertive since the Q60 Coupe.
Sunfire Red isn't a color so much as it is a process.
Gold-coated glass flecks under multiple layers of clear coat shift between deep red and metallic gold depending on the light. Infiniti says it's inspired by a limited edition GTR color, which is the kind of heritage reference that only works if the vehicle underneath earns it.
Infiniti calls the grille pattern a bamboo forest motif,
which is a bold amount of narrative for a front of a midsize crossover. Up close, it has real texture. From 20 feet away, it mostly becomes a grille again. So yes, it's a bamboo forest, but only if you're standing in it. The sport grade is the one that looks like it wants to fight. Gloss black trim, turbine wheels, concealed lug nuts. Autograph is the one that looks like it's above fighting, but could absolutely make a phone call. Subscribers get notified when new episodes drop on this channel. Non-subscribers hope the algorithm shows it to them eventually. If you want control over whether you see episodes from this channel, well, that's what the subscribe button does.
The autograph cabin is the statement piece.
The quilting pattern on the leather is asymmetrical and diagonal. Infiniti says it's inspired by kimono folds, which is either a genuinely thoughtful reference or an unusually elegant explanation for a stitching pattern. The ambient lighting is arranged into palettes themed around Japanese seasons, which is a nice piece of cultural specificity.
Google built-in is the right play here.
Maps, Assistant, and the Play Store run natively is a better bet than Infiniti trying to out-software Google, because history suggests that would be a short meeting. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, which matters because a luxury vehicle should not require ideological commitment to one software ecosystem. The Klipsch setup in Autograph also gets headrest speakers with individual audio, so navigation prompts or calls can be routed without turning the entire cabin into a group project. The practical reality of the fastback shape is that you could be trading rear headroom for the roofline, but in this case, they've retained a tremendous amount of headroom in the second row. If you want to support the channel beyond just watching, the merch store is open, and your support there means more time producing episodes like this and less time worrying about manufacturer blacklists. No pressure, just an option.
The VC turbo matters because Infiniti has gone all in on one sentence.
Trust us, this 4-cylinder is enough. No V6 safety blanket, no hybrid torque fill, no premium brand backup plan. Everybody else in the segment hedges with more displacement or more electrification. Infiniti is trying to win the argument with thermodynamics. I respect the nerve, I'm just not prepared to respect the outcome until I drive it. Then there's active sound enhancement, which means the QX65 is invoking FX nostalgia while also editing its own engine note through the speakers. That's not automatically a problem. It is, however, a very modern way of trying to sound authentic. The 9-speed automatic is also a meaningful signal. In a Nissan world of CVT, a conventional automatic with paddles is Infiniti making sure this doesn't feel like a Rogue in better shoes. There's no adaptive damping, which means Infiniti either has real confidence in the fixed tune or a very disciplined budget meeting. I'll know after the first decent road. The FX sat near 50-50 weight distribution with a front mid-engine and rear drive architecture. Obviously, the QX65 can't replicate that. A transverse layout simply sets different limits. What matters is whether Infiniti has extracted as much composure and responsiveness from those limits as possible. And on paper, it looks better thought through than some of its direct rivals. Then there's the 6,000-pound tow rating on a fastback luxury crossover. That tells you the structure underneath is doing much more work than the silhouette suggests. The like button tells YouTube that this episode is worth sharing with people like you interested in an episode like this, and if this episode gave you more information than a brochure or a press release, that's the entire ask.
The QX56 clearly remembers what made the FX interesting.
The question is whether it remembers the right parts, because the styling is making one promise, the platform is setting another boundary, and physics tends to be the more honest negotiator. I haven't driven it yet.
When I do, that's when this stops being nostalgia and starts being product.
That's our first look at the Infiniti QX65. Subscribe if you want to see more episodes like this. Don't if you don't. Comments are open if you disagree. And the merch store is open if you want to help fund more of these. See you on the next one.